The house that dreams back. They say, we dream to escape reality. But what if reality followed you into your dreams? This is the story of a house that does not exist in the waking world. And yet, people across the globe describe it the same way. The smell of rain and old paper. Windows open, but curtains perfectly still. Rooms that seem larger inside than they could ever be from the outside. And in every dream, the same locked door. A door that hums softly, as if it's waiting for you to open it. The first documented cases began in 1996. A psychologist in Prague, Dr. Helena Kravitz, was treating patients with recurring nightmares. She began noticing something unusual. A woman dreamed she was walking through a long hallway lined with portraits, but every face in the portraits was turned away from her. A man described a spiral staircase that seemed endless, but always led back to the same dimly lit library. A teenager said she found a cracked mirror in a small attic room. She looked into it and saw herself smiling, even though she wasn't. Different people. Different lives. But their descriptions matched, perfectly. Same hallway. Same library. Same cracked mirror. One patient, a 42-year-old man named Pavel, told Dr. Kravitz he had accidentally cut his hand on the cracked mirror in his dream. The next morning, the cut was there. Deep. Fresh. Medical records confirmed it was real. But Pavel hadn't left his locked apartment for 3 days. More patients began reporting similar incidents, bruises, burns, scratches, all from injuries sustained inside the dream house. In 2001, investigative journalist Claire Morrow read about Dr. Kravitz's unusual cases. She decided to investigate for herself, interviewing patients who had visited the house in their dreams. Her last journal entry, dated October 17, reads, "I finally saw the locked door tonight. It's old. Black wood, iron hinges, humming like something alive. I don't know why, but I felt like if I opened it, I'd never come back." That was the last night Claire woke up. Her body remained alive, breathing, but unresponsive. Doctors called it a persistent vegetative state. Her family said her lips moved sometimes, as if whispering. But no sound ever came out. 5 years later, in a dusty antique shop in Krakow, a leather-bound notebook was discovered. It contained architectural sketches of the same house. Every hallway, every staircase, every room, down to the cracked mirror in the attic. The notebook was dated 1894. Its owner, an architect named Emil Varga. In his final written entry, Varga claimed, "The house is not built of stone or wood, but of thought. I see it when I sleep, and each night I add a room. One day, it will be complete, and I will walk through the locked door. And I will not wake up." He died before the design was finished. Cause of death. Natural causes during sleep. Over the decades, scattered reports kept surfacing. A child in Argentina. A sailor in Japan. A retired teacher in Egypt. All describing the same house. Researchers noticed a chilling pattern. Once someone dreamed of the house, they would keep returning to it, even years later. And each time, the house was more complete. Some believe it's a shared dream construct, a mental location built in a collective unconscious, like an accidental gathering point for the human mind. Others say it's a trap, a predator that exists in the dream world, luring people deeper until they can't wake up. And some whisper that the house is alive. That it dreams too, and you are part of its dream. When you enter, it learns about you. When you return, it shapes itself for you. Until one day, it keeps you. I didn't believe any of it. Until last month. I woke up one night with the smell of rain and paper in my nose. I knew I was dreaming, but it felt heavier than a dream. The hallway stretched far ahead, lined with turned-away portraits. The spiral staircase wound upward into shadows. And at the top, the locked door. I could hear the hum. Low. Rhythmic. Like a distant heartbeat. Something inside whispered my name. I ran. When I woke up, my hands were covered in dust. I don't own anything in my home that could leave that kind of dust. They say you'll know you're close to the locked door when you start seeing pieces of the house in your waking life, a flower vase you've never owned, a portrait you swear you've seen before. And if you smell rain and old paper in a room with no windows, it's too late. Because the house has found you. And the next time you dream, it will be waiting. What happens when the house stops dreaming of you and starts keeping you?